think I want to tell you a bit more about the pieces. This here I cast on 4, and I just knit stockinette stitch or stocking stitch, and then I grafted it on and used the cast on tail, the strand, to sew onto the chin, and then I used one strand going up and the other strand to fill in, secure it and fill it in. And for the horns, I started at the base and I did an I-cord, not kind of a tapered, I guess, I-cord. I started off with 6, and on the first pass of the I-cord I decreased by 1 on one side, and then when I shoved it all over to the other end of the needle again, I decreased at the beginning so that I'm decreasing on the other side. So I've got a decrease at the end, a decrease at the beginning, and then I decreased both all of what was left. I knit 2 together and then I slip knit and drew the end through the last 2. And then with the end I made a French knot to give that a bit of a rounded point, pointier than 2 stitches mangled together, or whatever you'd call that. And then I whip stitched down to close the back of the I-cord, because it's all that section, the back section, always gapes. So I whip stitched down and pulled it a bit snug in order to get it to curve some. That's how I got some of the curve. So that's how I did that. And this is just a embroidered stitch and my usual French knot eyes. And the strand from the ear, I shoved it in, below, through, down, whatever, and took 3, 2 from one ear, 1 from the other ear, and I braided it and fluffed it up at the end. This my yarn choice doesn't fluff. It's very sleek, I guess. It's kind of, I don't know what the word is, but it was very slippery to deal with. And it seems to want to go where it wants to go, so I'm going to have to hit that with the clothing steamer, because they insist on being up when they're supposed to be down, like a Highlander's bangs, Highlander cow bangs. I think that's all the detail there. I did the body like I do all the other bodies. I don't even know if I explained in any of my other videos, but this is 16 rounds on the Addy Pro, the 22 needle Addy. Pardon me. And all of my pocket pals are like this. I drew the bind off end. This is the cast on end here. I drew the bind off end closed, and then I went in one strand and in the other strand, and collected it up and closed it so that the leg is kind of accordion folded, I guess, in origami. It's here, down, up, and down, and that's the leg there. And this one too. That's the that's 3 stitches, and then there's 5 stitches inside, and then there's 3 stitches here. So each leg is 6 stitches on the outside, and seamed in within is 5 stitches. And then I pooched out the I don't know, I don't have the language for that. I pooched that out and I secured it with a stitch so that the arms kind of poke out a bit. They have some character. And then I put the strand around twice and pulled it snug until the distance between here and here is equal to the distance between here and here, roughly. And that gives me the size shape head I like. And then I just draw the cast on edge closed real snug and embellish as I like. So far I have made 44 different characters, different animals and mythological and people type characters, and I believe I have 84 ideas altogether. Some of them I'm still trying to work out. And get them figured out and get the pieces knit up so that I can get them to look right, look the way I want them to look. And let me tell you about the noodles here. I E-looped one. I drew the long strand out and E-looped and smooshed them together and knit them together and slid them back on the left side needle. And then I twisted the tendril and I put that on the needle beside and left it. And I put an E-loop and I did the next long strand with the E-loop, knit the 2 E-loops together, and I left it. And then I did the next one. I put an E-loop, I did the long strand, I put another E-loop, knit the 2 E-loops together, left them, put them on the left needle, and then I twisted and placed the end on the needle with the E-loop. And then when I had the number I wanted, I believe I did 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I did 6. When I had all the number I wanted, I went back and knit 2 together all across, so that I had 6 tendrils and 6 stitches on my needle. And I drew the yarn through, gathered it, and seamed it onto the face, just wherever, because I knew I was going to be hiding the top with these rumples. I did those. Those are just bullion stitches. And I set it aside because I knew I had to figure out this, and I had to figure out the brows and everything. Well, all the embroidery, the ears and stuff. And I set it aside and looked at it again the next day, and the pictures I found showed the ear shaped like that, kind of triangular and kind of downward facing compared to human ears, I guess. I didn't really angle it the way I saw it in the pictures. And the other thing in the pictures was these flaps, I guess. These I did 3 long strands, just where I can see here, and then as close to the tippy top as I could get it. I did 3, and then I stitched under one, pulled through, and stitched under the other from the center outward, and then I stuck the needle between and came out on this side, and I put the needle between and came out on that side, under that side, under this side, under that side. So it kind of like a braid, I guess. And then I did the same on this side, 3 long strands, and then I just went under one, went under the other, went under one, went under the other, inserting between. So that's how I got those to shape. And this here is 1 long strand, the brow, pinned in the center and just wrapped. I just wrapped it evenly, neatly. Same with the ears. That is 1 strand pinned in the center, and then I wrapped. That's what it looked like in the picture. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they're not that far back in the actual picture either, but that's where they ended up. I'm still kind of figuring my way around this little guy. I think this ear should have been forward more, but don't tell anyone. And then I just put 2 strands, 2 stitches in for the eyes. And this was complex for me. This is stitched here. It's just not right with the stitches, but with the Sharpie, I was able to get the line where I wanted it. So those are the 2 parts that I knit separate from the oud. The rest is embroidery. And I think that's all the details there. It's my squash fold legs and my pooched out arms, and my tied neck, and then I seamed down. That's everything about that. And I also worked on my nephew's bunny. He's a participant of wipeout games. You know, they're bouncing on the big balls and landing in the water and stuff. He does that. So I made him a wipeout vest. This time around he got a butt. I cast on in green, did 1 row in green, and then I did the rest in yellow. And then I grafted it on. So I did that for my nephew. I think this is the most well-loved bunny in the universe. So he's ready to go back to his home. And I cast on another. This is a different pattern, and I think I like this pattern better. The other one was 5 stitches. This one is 6 stitches. And I think the other one was 3 rows, and this one is 4. And I accidentally messed up the first one anyway and did 4 rows and didn't, didn't frog. I just kept on with doing 4, and this is 4 according to this pattern. And I'm using 6.5 needles. I believe the pattern itself asks for 5, but I knit really tight because I do amigurumi, so my stitches wind up tight even when I'm trying really hard not to make them tight. So I went up a 1.5 needle size. And I think I like this pattern better. Even numbers tend to make more sense, and I'm more comfortable with them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This pair is going to be for me. Well, at least I'm planning on it being my size. So that's what I've been up to this week. And I haven't yet decided what I'll be doing next. I was looking at pictures of Yetis and Sasquatches, so maybe, no guarantees, I haven't firmly decided. I might come up with something that I like better. And I was thinking I'd like to work on these horns, so maybe a goat, maybe. I'm not sure what my next Pocket Pals are going to be. I really need to steam that. I love this guy. He almost pushes the lion out from first place, but the lion is first place in my favorites. So that's that for that. I need to arrange a, what do you call it, thumbnail.